Genetics problem number 9 says in humans, color blindness is a sex-linked trait. Fill in a Punnett square and give the genotypic and phenotypic ratios of a cross between a colorblind male and a heterozygous female. Okay, the first thing we need to do is we need to assign gender. Females have 2 X chromosomes. Males have 1 X chromosome and 1 Y chromosome. Whenever we're dealing with gender traits, we have to use the X's and Y's because the gender trait is not found on the Y chromosome. So when we look at this, it says, first of all, we have a colorblind male. That means that if we look at the colorblind trait, let's say we use B for normal and a little b for colorblind. We can't use a Punnett square, big B, little b, or whatever because we have to take gender into account. So we have to assign the trait to the X chromosomes. So it says that we have a colorblind male. That means his X chromosome is carrying the colorblind trait. So he has the little b on his X chromosome. We cannot ignore the X and Y chromosomes because there's nothing on the Y chromosome related to this. The female is heterozygous, which means one of her X chromosomes is carrying the normal trait and one is carrying the colorblind trait. So when we look at the parents, we have the mother has 1 normal trait and 1 colorblind trait. The man is colorblind, which means he has the colorblind trait here and no trait on the Y chromosome. So we first look at the gender of the offspring, in this case a female with 1 colorblind trait coming from here, from her dad, and 1 normal trait coming from her mom. We do the Punnett squares exactly the same as the rest, down and across, but we can't ignore gender. X-linked traits, you have to include gender. This female is getting a colorblind trait from dad and a colorblind trait from mom. This is going to be a colorblind female. It's a misconception that only males can be colorblind. Females can definitely be colorblind, but it's less likely because they have to get the trait from their dad and their mom. Over here we have a male, X from mom, Y from dad. Mom gave this boy the regular normal trait. And then we have another male, probability of being a colorblind male. Dad gave him a Y. Mom gave him a colorblind allele. So in this case, these are our genotypes. When we look at this, we have a 1 out of 4 probability of having a child be a female carrier. She would not be colorblind. She's a carrier, which means she could give that trait to her children, but she herself is not colorblind. So 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 chance down here of having a colorblind female colorblind. 1 out of 4 chance here of having a normal male. And then this box, a 1 out of 4 chance of having a colorblind male. So lots of variety in the probabilities of offspring from these 2 parents.